So, taking the last spot on our list is the last of the Time Lords, ironically. Now, a lot of people really like this episode, but in my opinion, it is one of the worst episodes of Doctor Who in history. I like the first two parts because this was a three-parter and this was the third part. And I like the first two parts, but the third part was just terrible in my opinion. First of all, the Master takes over everything, and he sets up this one genius plan so the Doctor cannot do literally anything. And the Doctor kind of breaks this spell. He basically turns into a hobbit. I guess he turns into Dobby from Harry Potter. And so, how does he break the spell? By getting everybody on Earth to say his name. Yep, that's right. So then he turns into Jesus, I guess, and then the Master tries to shoot him, but there's for some reason a ball of light around him because apparently this is Super Smash Brawl now. I mean, you try to kill somebody, it'll just bounce off of them because there's a giant bubble because they just got resurrected. And so from there, everything just becomes disjointed. The episode just doesn't know what it wants to be. Um, and guess what? The Doctor doesn't even stop the Master. It's Sally Saxon's wife who does it, and Sally Saxon's wife, not Sally Saxon's wife. I believe her name was Sally. But Saxon's wife, has absolutely no motivation whatsoever. Um, and the episode, I can't tell what it's supposed to be. Is it supposed to be a sci-fi thriller? Is it supposed to be a space opera? Is it supposed to be a post-apocalyptic thing? I just don't know. It just doesn't feel like it knows what it wants to be. And the Face of Bow thing was a great idea, but it was completely forced. And then at the very end, guess what? Randomly, out of nowhere, the Titanic shows up just because they want to foreshadow the Christmas special. Yeah, it wasn't a good episode at all. Coming up next is the most recent finale, which is um Death in Heaven. That's right, Death in Heaven. Now, boy, these master finales really do have a tendency to suck. Now, this was a two-parter, and like with um Last of the Time Lords, I actually liked the first part, which was Dark Water. Dark Water really talked about the horrors of death, and I thought they did that really well. I know it was controversial for the way it tackled post traumatic stress disorder, but I still really liked it. But Death in Heaven just felt like a soap opera. It, I mean, it felt like it built up to. It felt like the whole season built up to nothing. For one thing, it felt like Missy just had to kill somebody every 2 minutes just so you thought she was evil again. Second of all, Danny Pink died in the episode before this. Then in this episode, he comes back just to die again. That makes his death in the first episode completely irrelevant. Um, Third of all, the whole season made me think that the Nethersphere would play a big role in the finale, and it felt like we were only in the Nethersphere for like 5 minutes. I mean, most of it just took place in a graveyard, standing around yelling at each other. So yeah, not a good episode in my opinion. Really anticlimactic, and I just really didn't like it. Okay, so, next is Journey's End. By the way, I'm sorry if I'm mellow, guys. It's really late for me. But, anyways, so, Journey's End. Journey's End was an episode I watched a while ago, and I really liked it. And I still kind of really like it. But I've listened to a lot of the criticisms, and I do agree with many of them. For one thing, I do think it was disjointed. Um, I loved the idea of bringing all the companions up to that point of the new series together, but I feel it kind of got convoluted at points, and some of the dialogue was a little bit corny. It felt like some people just came straight out of the blue, just to say, "Well, hello there, it's me," and "Oh, hi, it's me here." I wish there was more of a reason for them all to be there. Another problem, which is what a lot of people have pointed out, which is really stupid in my opinion, is there's a self-destruct button on the Dalek spaceship. Why would you put a self-destruct button on the spaceship? I mean, that would be like if I was a supervillain, and let's say I was a supervillain and my weakness was water, and I put a bucket of water on my spaceship. Um, Not the smartest plan. But yeah, a bit convoluted. Still a good finale, but really just not as good. Next up, we have The Wedding of River Song. The Wedding of River Song was ambitious and heavy on ideas, but it is infamous amongst Whovians for copping out on its main storyline of that season. Getting into the ones I really liked, we have The Parting of the Ways. This was a great first finale. Um, Beautiful goodbye to Christopher Eccleston, and the Daleks were really scary. However, with that said, it is a better finale, and Whoadix Reviews pointed it out. It's a better finale and a better Dalek episode than it is a regeneration episode. They didn't really have any build up to the regeneration, but I did like the regeneration itself. So it lands a spot at number 4. Doomsday was a great send off to Rose Tyler, with the acting from Billy Piper and David Tennant coming off as absolutely surreal. It was extremely emotional, but also a great episode, and it's definitely one of the best finales to date. The Big Bang was a great finale. It had great plot structure, awesome pacing, and an absolutely phenomenal narrative. It's one of the best finales in Doctor Who history, and a great way to wrap up my favorite season, Season 5, although that might change if the finale to Season 9 is really good. And number 1 is the name of the Doctor. Now, many people might argue that I'm just saying this because everybody was hyped about the 50th anniversary, but I have looked back at it recently and I still really like it. It's about the Doctor looking back at his past, looking back at some of his great memories and some of his bad memories. It's basically how the past never stops following you. How you can run as far away as you can, but the past will always catch up to you. It will always haunt you, and that is why I think the name of the Doctor is the best Doctor Who finale to date.